If you find yourself saying you know what to do, but you just don't do it, then you're not alone. And the key here is you do not have a discipline problem. Ultimately, all high performers I work with know the basics. You know, hey, I've got to put my phone down before I go to bed. I shouldn't touch it first thing in the morning. You know, I know the basic hygiene of energy. I've got to be moving. I've got to be hydrating. You know the basics. They just don't get done. And the real reason for that is that we are just overloaded, distracted, and actually focusing on the wrong stuff to get done. So in this video, I'm just going to walk you through the 3 crucial shifts you can make that ultimately lead to you doing the things you know you need to do and beyond. So one of the biggest mistakes we make straight out the gate is we keep trying to master the basics. What do I mean? So you kind of get a bit of a routine going, and then work takes over, family gets busy, that falls off. And then we start again. We go back to trying to master the same basics. It's kind of like, imagine going to the gym and you do your induction and you get a program set and it's all good for a couple of weeks. And then you fall off the wagon, kids get ill, life gets busy. And then you go back and book your induction and try and master those basics again. And you start right from the start. We just keep pedaling that same old cycle. And one of the problems with always trying to master the basics is that actually they're pretty boring. There's nothing exciting about drinking more water and moving more and meditating and switching off and so on. And because they're boring and we keep going back to the same old boring things, they become a little bit within our challenge level. It's like, I can do this, but I can't seem to make it stick. The reality is the more you keep trying to master those, in my experience, the more we keep going back and trying to get them perfect before we move on to maybe that next step of the work we can be doing, the more we stay in that loop. And so if you keep trying to master the basics all the time and start and stop around that is why the real transition has to happen from moving on to some more advanced things. All of a sudden it's time to stop messing with the basics and think, okay, what decisions do I need to make that I'm not making? What am I avoiding? Can I move from this perfecting the perfect morning routine to actually moving towards what can I do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis? What's a slightly more advanced, progressive version of my energy work? When you switch from constantly mastering the basics to moving on to more advanced stuff, I guarantee the basics will follow along because you've done them so many times. You know them. They are the yeahs. Yeah, I'll get to it. And so mistake number 1 is trying to master the basics before we move on. Move on and the basics will master themselves. The second mistake and the second switch to make is a crucial one. And it is stop trying to change our life in 1 week. And what I mean by that is we keep trying to create these perfect plans. I see that a lot with the people I work with. It's like we struggle to get going to know what, to do what we know we should be doing. And all of a sudden we have this new perfect plan this week. And with a new perfect plan, it never gets done. And we try and take on too many things. And so the more we chase multiple rabbits, we never catch anyway. One of the best things you can do right now is ask yourself, what is the one problem, the one issue that if I just nailed it, if I actually fix this issue, would have a compounding effect in every area of my life. And there's some crucial ones that always come up when we work with people. Is it your sleep? Like for a lot of people, if you fixed your sleep and you fixed your routine pre-sleep and got better sleep, woke more refreshed, it would completely improve the rest of your life. Maybe that is the first, what we might call unlocking move. That if you focused your attention and energy into, would make the biggest difference across the board. Maybe it's the fact you don't switch off. Maybe it's the fact that you don't protect your weekends and your time off. Maybe it's the fact you're working too many hours. Maybe it's the fact you haven't organized or structured your week at all. Maybe it's you've got some big decisions that you need to make. Either way, when you highlight the one thing that would make the biggest difference this month and you get to work and you fix that, that will free up so much more time, energy and space than chasing multiple things and trying to fix all the issues that you think you have. So find the unlocking move, focus on that, get it fixed, and everything else will move from there. And the third reason we just do not do what we know we need to do is we're just mentally overloaded. And so think, how many times have you found a bit of a plan, you thought, right, I'm going to move towards this, and then you keep finding new things to do, a new hack, a new YouTube video, ironically, say maybe try this, you scroll social media, oh, maybe I should do that, you read another book, you pick up an old book, and all of a sudden you've gone from having this pretty clear plan of action to, oh, maybe I should add that and try that. And that distraction is killing focus. Not all new ideas, no matter how good they are, are going to be the things you should be doing now. So something I like to do is if I've decided, hey, here's my unlocking move, here's the thing that I'm going to focus all my energy and time on, and here's the moves that are going to make the biggest difference, I remove learning for that period, for 30 days. Remove it. Think, I'm not going to learn anything new about this topic, because we all have enough information to get started, to get going. But we keep bringing new information in, the brain gets overloaded, we get distracted, we end up with more decisions than we really want to make, and all of a sudden we can't make any decision. So the third factor is we are overloaded. And the more you overload yourself with more information, the less you're going to do. So if you see it as, why am I not doing what I know I need to do? Well, number one, I keep mastering the basics. I keep trying to master the same stuff, the same boring stuff I've mastered before and fallen off. I need to move beyond that. If you think, two, I'm chasing too many rabbits, I need to chase one. What is the biggest thing I could solve in my life that would drastically move me forward? Number three, when that happens, can I remove all other information and learning while I focus on that? You do those three things, you are going to start doing more of what you need to know. Now, of course, one of the major issues that brings up is capacity. We have to have the capacity to do these things physically, mentally, emotionally. And as you'll see from the screen popping up right now, we have loads of videos on that you can get stuck into and up your capacity right now.